Hi, welcome to our new episode. Today I will share a story from a film called The Thinning, New World Order, which is the sequel to the 2016 film The Thinning. Let us start it. Since the world's population will be extremely swollen in the future and there will be a serious shortage of resources, the United Nations requires every country to reduce its population by 5% every year. In the United States, to achieve this goal, all students are required by law to take a joint examination each year, and the students with the worst scores will be executed. And this elimination system is called the Thinning Plan by the people. As an opponent of the Thinning Plan, the governor's son Blake deliberately answered all the questions wrong to wake up the father who supported the plan. Although Blake's father managed to rescue his son, Lena, whose grades were exchanged, finally revealed the inside story and sent those who practiced favoritism to the Thinning Plan again. But watching Blake, whom she had a crush on, was also executed, Lena was distraught. It's just that she didn't know that Blake and the executed students did not die. They were taken to a secret factory. There, the students saw a promotional video and were told that they had been selected. As long as they can earnestly complete the work arranged in the factory, they will gradually get the opportunity to return to society. This made the students who had escaped from the dead cheered. Everyone was assigned to a specific job position according to the computer's assignments and instructions. Blake entered the packaging workshop, quickly found his girlfriend, Ellie, who was executed a year ago. The two had not seen each other for a long time. They hugged and went to the dormitory. On the other hand, even though Blake's governor father pushed all the crimes to the captain of the guard Mason, he was still investigated by Agent Morris. So, to remove his suspicion before the presidential election, Blake's father called Lena, who broke the inside story before, has become the target of reporters flocking to it. Even Agent Morris also went to Lena, hoping she could provide some clues. And as long as Lena can be the spokesperson of the governor can easily remove the suspicion. The governor promised Lena a good remuneration. Georgina, who sponsored the governor's presidential campaign, also told Lena that her brothers and sisters would no longer have to worry about being put on the death list as long as she agreed to the terms. Then, Georgina asked the governor's security Jack to take Lena and them home. But Jack lost the three brothers and siblings halfway and took them to an abandoned building. It turns out that Jack is a member of the resistance organization. They have been lurking in various government departments and are determined to overthrow the Thinning Plan. And now they are fully supporting another candidate, Davis, because as long as she becomes president, she will abolish the Thinning Plan. So they hope that Lena can hide by Georgina and the governor as an undercover agent and collect information that can overthrow them. To reassure Lena, they also told Lena that they would send Lena's younger siblings to a safe house abroad. At the same time, Lena's friend Kellen has become an intern at the TV station, and he is investigating the truth behind the Thinning Plan in his way. But in the process of contacting relevant personnel, he found that no one had seen the body of the executed student. This made Kellen suspicious, so he took Lena to the cemetery overnight, but didn't find Blake's body. On the other hand, Blake discovered that it was a slave factory, and all students were victims of lies. In the factory, they don't even have the right to die. If they violate the regulations or seek death, they will be taken to the infirmary to be reformed and become machines that will not resist but will only work. In addition, Blake also found out that his girlfriend Ellie had succumbed to Cage's lust. Cage has a W logo on his chest, which shows that he has the right to supervise other workers and is also a candidate who is given priority to be sent back to society. Although Cage is the boss, Blake, who watched his girlfriend being bullied, was unwilling to compromise. He immediately formed a group with Cage and his party and pulled Ellie to escape. However, they quickly got nowhere and were knocked down by the guards. At this moment, Mason suddenly appeared in front of Blake, and with a grudge, he broke one of Blake's feet. 8 months later, Davis has become Blake's father's most powerful contender. She firmly opposed the Thinning Plan and received strong support from young voters. In the past 8 months, Lena has been disguised as a supporter of the governor, and under the pressure of destroying her reputation, she traveled across the country to lobby voters for the governor. And her next task is to access Georgina's personal computer and get her company's illegal information. So, to gain Georgina's trust, Lena recommended herself and participated in a mock debate with the governor and used her excellent performance to satisfy everyone. On the other side, Blake's broken foot still did not recover, because Cage would often bring people to his dormitory in the middle of the night and hit his injured left leg with a truncheon, which made Blake's injured foot unable to heal. And Blake also found that Cage would often force some people to participate in underground boxing matches to maintain his position as the boss. But this disparity of strength is just a way for Cage to bully others. Blake finally couldn't bear it. He dragged his injured leg into the duel. After a fight, he successfully defeated Cage and became the new boss in the factory. At this time, Kellen has discovered more inside stories. By comparing Georgina's purchases and expenditures, he found that the company did not purchase the fully automated production line that was declared to the outside world, but the factory's output is now several times that of the previous one. Therefore, based on previous investigations, Kellen speculated that Georgina sent the previously executed students as free labor and sent them to her secret factory to realize her capital expansion. This is why Georgina has spent huge sums of money to sponsor the governor to run for president. But because Kellen had no real evidence, the leader did not believe him. This caused the frustrated Kellen to leave the TV station, but a killer suddenly appeared in his car. Fortunately, Kellen sounded the car alarm in time, which scared off the killer and escaped. After that, Kellen pretended to be drunk and turned up the sound of Lena's speakers. Lena initially thought that Kellen was just playing drunkenly, but Kellen told Lena with a note of his speculation and what happened just now, which shocked Lena. On the day of the election, members of the resistance organization sent Lena's younger siblings to a safe house abroad, and Lena had no worries about their future. She took advantage of the gap in the toilet and stepped into Georgina's office from the outer wall of the building. In Georgina's computer, Lena not only discovered the truth, but also saw the image of Blake, which made her extremely happy. But when Lena was copying confidential information, Georgina was suddenly ready to return to the office. To buy time for Lena, Jack lied and dismissed Georgina, which immediately exposed Jack's identity. After Lena successfully obtained the secret information, she contacted Agent Morris and gave all the information to the other party. But Morris had already been bought by Georgina. She immediately forced Lena to jump off the tall building. Lena took advantage of the Morris phone rang, pounced on it, and successfully retrieved the information, then jumped off the roof and escaped. However, due to a lack of trusted friends, Lena found Kellen again, and Kellen copied a secret document and prepared to go to the TV station to hand it over to his leader. But as soon as he started the car, the flames of the explosion engulfed him. Before Lena recovered from the shock of losing her friend, she realized that Morris had arrived with someone. Lena set a trap, successfully eliminated two of Morris's men, and fought back, pushing Morris down the stairs. On the other hand, Blake told Cage and others about his findings, and they realized that there is no such thing as reintegration into society. They will always be slaves in the factory. Then Cage and others decided to resist, and they created a riot in the cafeteria. After Mason saw it, he took control of the situation, while Blake took the opportunity to find his girlfriend Ellie and took out the positioning chip from the necks of the two, then put on the staff's clothes and prepared to escape the underground factory. At the same time, Lena went to the TV station with all the inside information, handed over to the leader of Kellen. After seeing the truth, the other party dispatched a helicopter to the desert where the secret factory is located. At this time, Blake and Ellie also escaped from the secret factory, but Mason, who came after him, suddenly appeared and knocked Blake to the ground. Fortunately, the helicopter from the TV station arrived in time, and the two young men fought back and successfully solved Mason. Later, Lena finally waited for Blake at the door of the TV station, and she rushed over and kissed the boy she liked. But then Ellie got out of the car again, which made the scene awkward. On the other hand, the black history of Congresswoman Davis was suddenly exposed by the media. Blake's father instantly gained an overwhelming advantage and became the President of the United States without any suspense. But just as he was about to deliver his inaugural speech, the news that Blake was still alive appeared on the TV screen. He found out that his son was not dead, but Georgina sneered and urged him to speak on stage. He then realized that even if he became the president, he was still just a puppet of Georgina. Georgina quickly issued an order to her control center. It turned out that Georgina had been secretly monitoring everyone. Those opponents of the plan were immediately retrieved. The police quickly arrested all of them, including Lena, Blake, and Ellie. But when the three young men were desperate, their police car suddenly rolled over. Then they saw Jack's figure appeared at the door. He rescued the three and told them that a battle of resistance would begin soon. Okay, this is the end of the story. Welcome to leave a comment below, let's have a discussion. If you like my video content, please press like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching, see you next time.